The feed is based on real events. In 1956, Jean Seberg was chosen for the role of Jeanne d'Arc is among 18,000 applicants. 3 years later, she starred in the film Breathless, which brought her worldwide fame. Paris, 1968. Jeanne is legally married to director Romain Gary. They are already raising a 5-year-old son. The actress left her family and moved to Los Angeles. Meanwhile, the Black Panthers organization is gaining popularity. Radicals advocate armed resistance to racists, so the police and the FBI are closely monitoring the activities of the organization. Jack Solomon, an employee of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, is introduced to the case by the chief. They are monitoring an activist who has recently been calling himself Hakeem Jamal. He had mental problems in the past, but he recovered, converted to Islam and now gathers radical blacks around him who oppose the government. Jack is a master of wiretapping. That's exactly what he has to do. When Jeanne was on the plane with the agent, she heard some noise. The same Hakeem Jamal is outraged that the widow of Malcolm X, the famous black leader, was not allowed into the first class. Jeanne liked this grumpy young man, and she offered to give the widow her place. At the airport, the woman is met by a squad of Black Panthers. Solomon and his partner Karl Kowalski are already watching Jamal. Suddenly, Jeanne walked up to the Panthers and also raised her hand in solidarity with them. These images instantly hit the pages of newspapers. Jamal left Jeanne his address on a stack of sheets of text, and after a little thought, she went to him. Solomon and Kowalski have installed listening devices in Jamal's house, and all conversations are being monitored in a van with tinted windows. The agent took a picture of the actress when she arrived at their surveillance facility late at night. Jamal immediately escorted the praying brothers out. He is surprised that a white celebrity dared to come to the area in his luxury car. Jeanne declares that he wants to be a part of the Black Revolution and help fight racism. She also believes that Jamal staged a concert on the plane just to get her attention. In a few minutes they are in bed. Solomon was surprised by this development. Seberg offered Jamal money, but sponsoring such people makes her dangerous to America. So the famous actress came to the attention of the FBI. Agents are studying her background. During the filming of the film Jeanne d'Arc, Jeanne suffered serious burns. Her photo ended up on the wall next to photos of black revolutionaries. Jamal spends a lot of time at the Seberg mansion in Beverly Hills. But Solomon is unable to pay attention to his wife because of his work. Jeanne shows Jamal how good she is as an actress. The lovers left the mansion in different cars in the hope that they could hide their relationship. Jack entered the Seberg house, guarded by a formidable guard. He began to study the housing and install wiretaps. He found out that the actress was donating money to the Malcolm X Foundation. The agent had to leave the house urgently when the maid came. Seberg went to the school for black children where Jamal's wife, Dorothy, works. She suggests that Jeanne bring her son here. They need people like Jeanne to get the public's attention. Dorothy mentioned that actresses were probably making good money, and Jeanne immediately wrote the school a check for $5,000. Solomon continues to watch films about Seberg. He looks at her much more often than he looks at his wife. Jeanne tells a journalist that he is reading a script about love between a black man and a white woman, but he is not sure that people are ready to watch a film about interracial relationships. The agent reminds her that she has already signed up for another movie, and such stories scare the audience and they do not want to watch them. Jeanne hosted a charity event at her home. Her husband, Romain, was also present. The actress listened to every word during her lover's performance. Bobby Seals, the head of the Black Panthers, also came to the meeting. Romain shows respect for Jamal. The couple is ready to give money to the Panthers for weapons. Suddenly, the alarm went off, and Solomon had to impersonate a waiter to get to the party. Jamal took Jean aside and asked her to calm down. There is no need to give money to the Black Panther, because of this she may be attacked by the public and the government. The actress threw a few words to the waiter, who had just recorded their conversation with Jamal. FBI agents intend to uncover the connection between the white actress and Jamal. Then he will become an outcast for the Black Panthers. The director of the bureau, Edgar Hoover, believes that Seberg is dangerous for the country and no one will cover for her anymore. Soon Dorothy got a call, and she heard a recording of her husband and a new acquaintance moaning. But now it's clear why the famous actress gave her expensive jewelry. Dorothy advises Jean not to try to continue the relationship with her husband. She is still a stranger to them. Solomon and his wife went to visit a colleague. Kowalski ordered a comic about Seberg and Jamal. Soon such flyers will be everywhere. Kowalski's son has left home and lives in a hippie commune. And the daughter tries to imitate the famous actress Jean Seberg as much as possible. Kowalski shouts at his wife and daughter and mocks the girl's appearance. Vulgar flyers were scattered around Dorothy's school. Jamal suspects that the Panthers did it. They must have found out somehow that he was having an affair with a white woman, and now they're taking revenge on him for it. With these words, he broke off relations with his mistress. They can no longer see each other, and at the same time advised them to check their phones, because their bedtime adventures were recorded on tape. Then a stone flew into the window of the actress. Enraged, Dorothy shoots a pistol into the air. She wants all the neighbors to know that Jean is dating a black man, and they found out about it. The actress looks at the equipment in search of listening devices. Someone calls and immediately hangs up. FBI agents are on Jean's heels. In New York, they checked into a hotel room next to her. The partner is unhappy that a bug was not installed in the bedroom. Jean complains to Romaine that their phones are being tapped. She constantly hears some strange clicks. In addition, a van was parked near their house for a long time. Seberg assumes that the FBI is following her because she is financing the Panthers. Before going to the premiere of the film, Jean taped all the doors to keep track of whether anyone had entered the room. Soon it happened. Solomon installed a bug under the bed. Suddenly, the couple returned home. Solomon hid behind the shower curtain, and Jean almost bumped into him, but then her husband called out to her. The scratch on the door was torn off. Seberg's suffering continues in the restaurant. The actress feels it and looks around. Jean was called to the phone, and Salmon was on the other end of the line, who took pity on the actress and warned her to stop giving money to the Black Panthers, otherwise they would follow her and take everything away. But Jean answered the agent rudely. His wife, distraught with grief, was waiting for Solomon at home. She found and spread out the photographs of Seberg on the table. The girl thinks that her husband has taken a mistress or is doing something worse. In the evening, Solomon took his wife out into the yard, suspecting that he might also be bugged, and told how the FBI was putting pressure on Jean Seberg. He doesn't like it, but there's nothing he can do about it. Jean meets Jamal at an abandoned black school. The actress admitted that she is pregnant again. Jean kissed her former lover, and their paths parted again. Kowalski suggests that newspapers should publish information about an actress' pregnancy from a black activist, Hakeem Jamal. This compromising information would help to discredit the actress in the eyes of the public. Solomon bursts into the chief's office, outraged by lies, because he knows the child is Mexican. However, he is ordered to blacken the image of Seberg in front of fans. Now, the newspaper people don't leave the actress alone even in Paris. Jean admits to her husband honestly that she didn't have an affair with Jamal, but if she did, they would sue him. Jean searches through every nook and cranny in their apartment for a microphone. Dorothy is also impressed by an article in a tabloid. Jean decides that she's had enough, so she holds a press conference, saying that after her performance, her newborn daughter only lived 2 days and she blames no one but herself, but the child didn't deserve to live in that atmosphere. Therefore, Jean will sue the newspaper for a defamatory article. She became a target of the FBI and the state due to her ideals. The woman hopes that justice will prevail one day. In 1971, Solomon met Seberg in Paris. He recalled their phone conversation 2 years ago, and then broke into her room. Solomon brought a thick folder containing the Seberg file. The FBI had thousands of hours of recordings of their conversations and hundreds of photographs. Because of her connection with the Black Panthers, Seberg needed to be neutralized, according to the file. Although Solomon would not give his daughter's life back, he wanted her to know the truth at least. Jean asked the agent to leave, but Jean Seberg stayed in Paris and never acted in Hollywood again, continuing to transfer money to the Black Panther Party until she was last seen on August 29, 1980. 10 days later, her body was found in a car. She was only 40 years old. Her ex-husband, Romain Gary, did the same thing a year later.